A child, she hung on to every word. When the day came that she crossed the seas to America, she held on to the traditions of magic so she could whisper them in her future daughter's ear as her own mother had whispered them to her. Anna's firstborn daughter, Helen Rose, was born of a difficult labor during the Great Depression. Arriving with what my family referred to as the veil, a veiled or caul birth is a rare phenomenon. It occurs when a thin layer of the amniotic sac is still attached to the baby's face and head when it is born. Bohemian folklore says that those born with the veil have the supernatural gift of second sight and may have the ability to see or speak to the spirits. I can tell you that this Bohemian folklore is true. Helen was my grandmother. She was a woman of magic and spells, a whirl of peroxide blonde curls and Lucky Strike cigarettes. She was a wild woman of black cat-eye sunglasses, painted ruby red nails, and a cackling laugh that boomed through a room. She loved her candles and singing out loud with a silver transistor radio that crackled in her kitchen. She has been dead for decades longer than she was alive during my life. Yet, the secret spells in this book, the threads of the things she taught me, summon her vibrant spirit. She cradles me through the curves of the spells that I draft in my grimoire. My Czech Grimani grandmother Helen handed her magic down to me as it had been handed down to her over 5 generations in Bohemia, from first daughter to first daughter. On certain days, when I'm speaking a magical incantation, my voice changes, and the sound that comes out of my mouth hums with a cadence of her own. She is the inspiration for this book. She is in this book. She lives in my bones. I am the first daughter, but I am also the last. I have a memory of a pivotal moment in my 8th year, getting off of the school bus as fast as I could and running to Grandma Helen's house in tears after kids hurled insults at me, making fun of my buck teeth and the fact that I was so much taller than they were. As I cried, my grandma wrapped her arm around my shoulders and walked me down to the dock on the lagoon. She brushed my hair as we sat on the edge of the creaky wooden planks, the murky waters just a few inches away from the bottom of my sneakers. She was always fussing with my hair and telling me stories. I remember watching the shadows of my swinging legs reflected in the water of the lagoon. I remember wanting to dive in and disappear. My grandma continued pulling the brush through my hair as tears fell down my face. When she was done, she gathered the puffy cloud of my hair out of the brush and put it beside the dock under a small rock. "Watch," she whispered. The afternoon sun made the water sparkle brightly, as if diamonds were bouncing on the tide. We had been watching the strands of my hair under the rock for a long time, when suddenly a little brown bird hopped down and took some of the hair in its beak. It flew away and then returned, taking more. This happened several times until all the hair was gone. My grandma turned to me and said, "Are you really worried about other people's opinions of you when you now know that baby birds will sing their first song nestled in your hair? You are magic. You have to know that. What other people think of you isn't any of your business." Her words woke me up to the essence of life. When you stop worrying about what other people think of you, you make room for your own magic to thrive. Every spring since then, no matter where I am in the world,